Okay, fellow accountants, we are into Chapter 4. Chapter 4 is a pretty straightforward chapter, actually. It looks at closing the accounting cycle. Remember we talked about the accounting flow or process or cycle. And we talked about, my abbreviation was R, two R's, two bookends of R's, and a PS in the middle, where we have an original source document, or documents that get recorded. Where do they get recorded? This is all review. They get recorded in a journal. And from the journal, what happens there? Gets posted to where? Trial balance. Excuse me. That is incorrect. Doesn't get posted to a trial balance. Handy dandy eraser. It gets posted to a journal, right? A ledger. I'll get it right. It gets posted to a ledger, general ledger, or a GL. And from there, what happens to it? It gets summarized. Summarized where? To a trial balance. And from the trial balance, we're learning that it eventually makes its way, a little circuitously, it's circling, makes its way to what? Where it is reported in the financials. The financial statements. We have our profit and loss statement. Statement of owner's equity, our balance sheet. So we have its original documents go to a journal. From the journal, it's posted to the ledger. From the ledger, it's summarized in the trial balance. From the trial balance, it's reported into financial statements. So this RPSR is this. R, recorded. P, posted. S, summarized. R, reported. But we learned in Chapter 3 that, some other things are happening here. One of the things that's happening is, right after we have our trial balance, we make adjustments. We have to kind of step back and look at the financial statements and say, what kind of adjustments do we need to make in order to ensure that our reporting is in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles? So we have adjusting entries or adjustments that we make. And so this first trial balance is called a unadjusted trial balance. So we might write up here unadjusted, because we have to make adjustments. And now in this chapter, what we're introducing here is let me get a different color pen. We're saying that in Chapter 4, we're saying that there's not just adjustments, but there's a worksheet that can be used that we prepare here that helps us. It's a tool. The worksheet is a tool, and I tell you, a perfect application for worksheets is spreadsheets. This is how you do a worksheet. The best way to do a worksheet is to just get out your software and create a spreadsheet. A worksheet is a tool that helps us visually to move from the unadjusted trial balance to the financial statements. The worksheet itself is not a financial statement. It's a tool that we use. And what you'll have is, let me just blow this up a little bit. 1. And draw a 1. Because what you're going to have on your worksheet is you're going to have your unadjusted, right, trial balance. And then after that, you're going to have a column that shows your adjustments. And these all have debit and credit balances, and debit, credit. You already see how hard this is. A perfect application for software, for Excel spreadsheets. And after our adjustments, we have an adjusted trial balance. I'm going to say TB, adjusted trial balance, which is our unadjusted trial balance plus the adjustments gives us our adjusted trial balance with debit and credit columns. And then from the adjusted trial balance, we have our financials. Now this is showing, how does it show in the financials from we have our P&L columns here, P&L columns there, and our balance sheet columns here with debit, and credit, and debit, and credit. So that we have a tool, the worksheet. All this worksheet is this. This worksheet is this tool of being able to see everything and having it in front of us before we actually prepare the financial statements. So that's the first big thing that's introduced in Chapter 4 is just the idea of a worksheet. And we will work through this in class. So I just wanted us to see where it shows up in the cycle, in the process, in the flow that we've been working with. And it shows up here. That's why I drew this yellow line with squigglies in it, saying between the trial balance, which is actually the unadjusted trial balance, between that and the financial statements, there are steps in between. And the first is the adjustments, and the second is the worksheet. And actually, the worksheet reflects the adjustments. So we could jump right into worksheet mode and just be aware that we have to make adjustments here. What we talked about in the last chapter. Now, I'm going to do another video to show only that after we prepare our financial statements, there's now something else that shows up right here, and it's the closing entries. So after we prepare the financial statements, which we will prepare from the worksheet, we will also then say, okay, now we have to make some closing entries. I'll just look at this in another video, but I just want to introduce it here and say, what's the purpose of closing entries then? So see you in the next video.